The AI tool is sending emails to the wrong customers,
Oh, no.
and it's CCing everyone, including the CEO's personal inbox.
How is that even happening?
It's 6:47 in the morning. The client's been up for 11 minutes, and she just sent me a text that says, "I think we broke something."
But AI doesn't break your business. It just shows you what was already broken, but really, really fast. Hello, and welcome back, my fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Kim, your host of Small Business Big AI, the podcast where we take the complexity out of artificial intelligence and turn it into clarity you can actually use. And as always, I'm joined by my husband and co-strategist, Hal. Hey, welcome back, Hal.
Glad to be here, Kim.
So, Hal, picture this. It's Monday morning, and you walk into the office with your coffee in hand, and you're ready to take on the week. And really, before you even put your bag down, someone from your team says, "Hey, the AI tool you had us try last week, it's not working." And another voice from the hallway chimes in, "We're still confused about who owns follow-up for new leads." And on your desk, there is a sticky note that reads, "Did you mean to automate the customer emails? They all fired at once." And I'm telling you, by 9:15 a.m., you have already unplugged the smart assistant, paused the subscription, and sent out that dreaded message. Let's go back to what we were doing before.
And that right there, that's the problem.
True, because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. It wasn't the tool that failed. It was the misalignment it exposed.
Yeah, Kim, if I had $1 for every client who said the AI tool broke our workflow, we'd have what? A down payment for a new yacht.
Or at least a deck upgrade, right?
But seriously, AI didn't break their workflow. AI just shined the world's biggest spotlight on the fact that workflow was already cracked.
And I agree with you there, Hal. So let me say this again, and let me say it clearly. AI doesn't create alignment. It reveals alignment.
And in most small businesses, it reveals misalignment.
True. Misalignment is the silent killer of small businesses. Now, most owners think that it's a motivation problem, or maybe a training problem or a tech problem. But really, it's none of those, Hal.
Nope. And here's the clear pattern. The owner blames the tool.
Yeah, I've read those comments on Reddit.
The team blames the training.
And I've seen those comments on Facebook.
And I show up and find out the real problem started 6 months before anyone could even type AI in the search bar.
Okay, so say more about that.
If your team doesn't know who owns what, if your workflow lives in the people's heads, if priorities shift every week based on who's the loudest, AI will expose every single one of those cracks within 48 hours.
And then that's the moment most owners think that the tool failed.
Exactly. But the tool didn't fail. The tool just turned the lights on.
So here's what we're going to do today. We're walking you through the 3 places that misalignment shows up first when you introduce AI. Now, we're giving you the exact framework that we use inside the small business transformation model to create alignment before you automate. And we're handing you one question, just one, that will tell you whether your business is ready for AI or about to weaponize itself against it.
Plus, we'll break you down the story of Mike, a client who thought he bought a scheduling solution
And accidentally bought a mirror revealing a crack in his solution.
Harsh, True. Harsh.
Yeah. So if you've ever rolled out a tool and watched it collapse in real time, or if you've ever wondered why your team resists new systems, or if you've ever felt like you're the only person holding the whole operation together, well, this episode is going to feel like oxygen.
Because alignment isn't soft or pretty. Alignment is the only thing that makes automation work.
All right, let's get into it. Okay, Hal. So you've seen this pattern 100 times. So walk me through the anatomy of a failure.
All right, let me tell you about Mike.
Every industry has a mic.
Every industry. Mike runs a home service company, 10 trucks, full crew, calendar so packed he could hear it groan. Smart guy, works his tail off. One day he calls me, and I can hear relief in his voice. Hal, I finally did it. I bought an AI scheduling system everyone's talking about. This thing is going to solve everything.
Capital letters, everything.
Yep, capital letters and bold, everything.
So how long did it take until it didn't solve everything?
4 days.
Oh my gosh, 4 days.
I show up on day 5 expecting dashboards, smooth handoffs, maybe even the faint sound of angels singing. Instead, chaos. Half his team is staring at the AI dashboard like it's written in hieroglyphics. The other half is yelling across the shop because appointments are being double booked. One guy is rewriting everything on the whiteboard. Someone else is calling customers apologizing. And Mike? He looks at me and says, Hal, I think AI is broken.
But it wasn't, right?
No. So I asked him one question. What was your scheduling process before AI? He hesitates, looks around, sighs. Honestly, 3 different spreadsheets, some text messages, and also the whiteboard.
Oh, wait. 3 separate systems with a whiteboard?
None of which agreed with each other, and nobody knew which one was the source of truth.
So what did the AI do then?
Exactly what it was designed to do. It looked at the data, tried to find a pattern, and couldn't because there's no pattern. There was just people improvising.
And that's the moment.
What moment?
Well, the moment the owner realizes the tool didn't fail, the business failed the tool.
Yeah, Kim, Mike didn't have a tech problem. He had a clarity problem, an alignment problem. And we've been winging it for 3 years and nobody wanted to say it out loud. Problem.
And AI does not hide that. It doesn't hide dysfunction
No, AI amplifies it.
because AI runs on patterns. And if your business has no patterns, just people reacting or improvising, the AI can't help you. It can only show you what's missing.
It's like putting a turbocharger on a car with a bent frame. You're not going faster, you're just shaking harder.
So, what happened to Mike?
We shut the tool down,
All of it?
all of it. Then we spent 2 weeks building the thing we should have built first. One scheduling process, one source of truth, one shared language, and then, and only then, we turned AI back on.
And
It worked perfectly.
because the tool was never the problem.
No, the misalignment was. And that's the part nobody wants to hear. Because fixing alignment is harder than buying a tool. It requires honesty, it requires slowing down to speed up, and it requires Admitting the way you've been doing things isn't actually a way.
But once you see it,
Once you see it, you can fix it. And that's when AI becomes a superpower. That's when AI turns overwhelm into clarity.
all right. So if Mike's story felt familiar, if you just had a sinking feeling in your stomach, then stay with us because what we're about to walk through next is how to spot misalignment before it costs you $47,000 and 4 days of chaos.
Coming up, the 3 places misalignment shows up first.
Join our growing community of small business owners who are using AI to transform their businesses. Subscribe and be part of the conversation. All right, now we've walked through Mike's story and the very expensive lesson hiding inside it. So let's zoom out because Mike is not a one off. What happened in that shop happens in every business that adopts AI before they fix their foundation. So here's what I want to know. If misalignment is the invisible thing wrecking AI adoption, how do you see it? Because most owners don't wake up thinking, you know what? I bet my team is misaligned today.
No, they wake up thinking, why is everything taking so long? Or, why does this keep breaking? Or, why am I the only one that seems to care?
Right. So, what are the early warning signs, Hal?
There are 3, and once you hear them, you spot them everywhere.
Okay, hit me.
Number 1 is misalignment shows up in your language.
Oof, now that one is sneaky.
Because it starts with words, not the big stuff, not the mission statement on the wall, the small stuff. You hear things like, well, I thought we were focusing on margin. Or, wait, did our priorities change? You may even hear, I didn't know we were doing it that way now.
Yeah, so hold on, Hal, but I thought those sound normal. I mean, like, isn't that just people getting caught up?
That's what everyone thinks. But those aren't oops moments. They're micro fractures, small sentences that tell the team isn't rowing in the same direction.
Okay, so give me a real example.
Well, last month I was working with a client, a design agency, about 50 people. The owner says, we're prioritizing client retention this quarter. Well, great. 2 weeks later, I'm in a team meeting and someone says, so are we still focusing on new leads or?
Ooh, mm.
Right? The owner thinks the message landed. The team is still operating under the old priority. And here's the kicker. When they tried to automate the new CRM system follow-ups, the AI started sending retention emails to the new leads and the acquisition emails to existing clients.
Because it didn't know which priority was real.
AI forces everyone into the same language, same definitions, same terms, same timing. If the humans aren't aligned on the story, the why, the automation collapses fast.
Okay, that's one. So what's number 2?
Number 2 is misalignment shows up in the handoffs.
So this is where owners feel the pain, right?
Because when systems are misaligned, everything takes longer than it should.
So what does that look like?
You see it in the gaps. Someone closes a deal, but forgets to loop in fulfillment. Fulfillment starts the project, but the scope was never confirmed. The client asks a question, and 3 people answer differently.
So it's not that people aren't doing the work.
No, they're doing the work. They're just doing different versions of the work. And nobody notices until AI enters the picture.
Okay, so what happens then, Hal?
AI tries to automate the handoff, and it can't. Because a handoff isn't just send a file. It's who checks it, what format, what's the deadline, who gets notified, what happens if something's missing. If those answers live in people's heads, AI can't read their minds.
Not yet, huh?
But here's the thing. Most owners don't realize their handoffs are broken until they try to automate them.
And then,
Chaos.
because AI doesn't fix messy systems.
No, AI amplifies them. If your process is cluttered, disconnected, or undocumented, AI becomes like pouring rocket fuel into an engine that's missing bolts.
All right, so that's two. So we have language and then handoffs. So what's the third one?
Number 3 is misalignment shows up in your numbers. This is the one that owners feel but can't always name.
I mean, how so?
You'll see it in margin drift, delayed cash cycles, rising overhead, errors in fulfillment, a spike in customer complaints. And when you ask what changed, nobody knows.
Because actually the numbers aren't reflecting the business, right?
Right. They're reflecting the confusion inside the business.
Okay, so walk me through an example.
Sure. Let's say you have a 3-person sales team. One person discounts aggressively to close deals, one person holds firm on pricing, and one person does whatever feels right that particular day.
I mean, so the pricing strategy is what? Just vibes?
Basically. And as long as you just have 3 people, you can kind of manage it. You can spot check, coach, correct. But the second you try to automate pricing recommendations with AI,
The AI doesn't know which strategy to follow, right?
exactly. So it starts splitting out price based on inconsistent data. And suddenly your margins are all over the place. Not because of AI is bad, because the humans never were aligned.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm hearing you right about this, Hal. So AI doesn't create these problems.
Correct.
It just makes them impossible to ignore.
That's exactly.
So language misalignment is AI surfaces it in conflicting messages. And then we have handoff misalignment. Now the AI surfaces that in broken workflows. Then we have number misalignment. And the AI surfaces that in dashboards that nobody trusts. So that's the moment that most owners think this tool isn't working.
But the tool is working perfectly. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just revealing the truth.
That the business wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's right, Kim.
Okay, so if you're listening right now and thinking, oh no, that's us, that's exactly us. Well, first, you're not alone.
Not even close.
And second, this is fixable because once you can see the misalignment, you can fix it. And that's exactly where we're headed next.
The small business transformation model, how to create alignment before you automate.
And why that one shift changes everything. Okay, so we've established that AI doesn't fix misalignment, it exposes it. And we've walked through the 3 places that it shows up first as language, handoff, and numbers.
Right?
Now, here's my question, Hal. If most business owners are drowning in misalignment and they don't even see it until AI turns the lights on, well, then how do you fix it before you automate?
That's the question. And inside the small business transformation model,
SBTM 2.0, right?
yes, we've built a framework specifically to do this.
Okay, so walk me through it.
First thing we do, we ask the owner to choose one thing that matters most to them right now. Not 5, not everything, 1.
Okay, like what?
Margin, cash flow, time back, team alignment, owner freedom. We call it the toggle menu.
Wait, so you're not telling them what to fix first?
No,
You're letting them choose.
absolutely.
But why?
Because alignment starts with trust, and trust starts with being heard. And if you walk in a business and say, here's what's broken, the owner's defenses go up. But if I say, what's keeping you awake at night, they open up.
So the toggle is the emotional entry point.
Right. Here's the one thing. Every toggle traces back to a specific combination of 5 transformation principles and the 5 tenets of financial strength.
Okay, so give me an example.
Owner says, I need more time. That toggle maps to simplify and automate systems, which is principle 3, plus enjoy the fruits of your labor, which align with tenet 5.
So you start with what they want.
And then guide them toward what they need.
Oh, that's really smart.
Once we know the toggle, we map the actual workflow, not the workflow as it should be, not the workflow in the owner's head, the workflow as it actually runs on Tuesday at 3:17 when everything's on fire.
Okay, so how do you do that then?
We ask questions like, who really touches the process? Where does this information get stuck? Where do decisions get delayed? So who rescues this process when it breaks? And what steps depend on the knowledge that has never been written down?
Like tribal knowledge, right?
Exactly. When you map the real workflow, the misalignment becomes painfully obvious.
Because what people say happens and what actually happens are two different things.
Always.
Okay, so we've picked the toggle and you've mapped the real workflow. So what's next?
You define good and what it looks like.
Isn't that obvious?
No.
Really?
Kim, I've worked with dozens of teams and where everyone thought they were aligned until I asked them to describe success. One person says, fast turnaround. Another, 0 errors. Even another one says, happy customers. All 3 are valid, but they're different. And the thing is, if you don't define which one matters most, automation will just multiply the confusion.
So you're forcing clarity.
I'm creating clarity.
Okay, well, how so?
We ask, what outcome matters most? What does success look like for the customer? What does success look like for the team? How fast should the workflow run? How much error is acceptable?
And once everyone agrees on that definition,
Then, and only then, can you automate.
all right, I'm following you. But here's where I get stuck, Hal. Most owners think the tech is slowing them down.
Yeah, but
But so you're saying it's not the tech.
9 times out of 10, it's not. It's people, confusion, overwhelm, skipping steps because we're too busy, or everyone doing the process their way.
And AI can't fix that.
No.
So then how do you find the bottleneck?
In SBTM, we pair the human reality with the AI opportunity. We ask, what decision is slowing everything down? Who gets stuck? Where does judgment matter? What step is 100% repetitive and predictable? What step should be automated but isn't?
So that's where AI comes in.
That's where AI can come in, but only if the human part is clear first.
So you're pairing the human reality with the AI opportunity.
Exactly. Because like you said, AI can't fix confusion, It can only automate clarity.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm tracking. You pick the toggle, you map the real workflow, you define good, and you find the human bottleneck. Then you choose the tool?
Then, and only then, you choose the tool.
Not before?
Never before.
Okay, Hal. Well, that's the opposite of how most people do this.
I know. Most people start with the tool. They see a demo. They get excited. They buy in. And then they try to force their messy workflow through it.
And it breaks.
Every time. Because the tool isn't the strategy. The tool is just an amplifier. When your workflow is aligned, AI becomes a force multiplier. When it's not, AI becomes a chaos multiplier.
All right, so the last piece. You've aligned the workflow, you've chosen the tool. How do you make sure it sticks?
We run the 14-day adoption test.
Okay, so what's that?
Inside SBTM, we only greenlight AI tools that can be adopted by the team in 14 days or less.
So why 14 days, Hal?
Because tiny adoptions lead to tiny wins. Tiny wins lead to momentum. Momentum leads to consistency, and consistency leads to impact.
So you're not trying to transform everything at once.
No, you don't need a quick transformation. You need a foothold, and alignment gives you exactly that.
Okay, so let me say this back to you then. Alignment before automation means number one, choose the toggle. So you start where the owner's pain lives. Then number two is you map the real workflow, not some fantasy version. Number three, you define what good looks like so that everyone's rowing toward the same finish line. And then four, you find the human bottleneck. And that's before you blame the tech. Five, then choose the tool as the amplifier, not the strategy. And finally, six, run the 14-day test to make sure it sticks.
That's it.
And if you skip any of those steps,
AI will expose it fast.
but if you do those steps,
That's when AI helps your business become a technology-enabled superpower.
all right, so if you're listening right now and thinking, okay, I get it. Alignment first, automation second. Well, then stay with us because what we're about to do next is give you one action that you can take this week to start building that alignment.
The small step that leads to big change.
Right after this. Ready to unlock the power of AI for your small business? Well, don't just listen. Become a small business Big AI insider. Subscribe and get ready to dominate. All right, if you've made it this far, and if you're still listening, here's what I want you to know.
This is the part that matters.
Yeah, because everything we just walked through, the 3 places misalignment shows up, the 6-step SBTM framework, the alignment before automation rule, none of it means anything unless you do something with it.
Here's the truth most won't read about online or say out loud. If you keep ignoring the misalignment in your business, if you keep hoping the next tool will fix it, if you keep telling yourself, we'll figure it out later, AI won't save you, it will expose you.
And that exposure is expensive.
It's expensive in dollars, it's expensive in time, it's expensive in morale.
Because every day you operate with misalignment, you're training your team to improvise. And every workflow that lives in someone's head is a workflow that can't scale. And every priority that shifts based on who's the loudest is a priority that doesn't exist.
And the second you try to automate that,
Chaos.
fast chaos.
But, and this is the part that gives me hope, once you see the misalignment, once you name it, you can fix it.
And that's when everything changes.
Remember Mike?
The scheduling disaster?
Yeah. So what happened after you shut the tool down and rebuilt the foundation?
2 weeks later, we turned AI back on, and it worked. Not just worked, it was seamless.
Because the alignment was there, right?
Exactly. Same tool, same team, same business. The only thing that changed was the foundation under it.
And suddenly, AI went from a problem
To helping his business become a technology-enabled superpower.
That's right. That's what alignment does. It doesn't make the work easier. It makes the work possible.
All right, so here's your challenge for this week.
And this one may make you a tad bit uncomfortable.
But in a worthwhile, good way.
So I want you to walk through your business like an outsider.
Like a consultant who's not emotionally attached.
And I want you to ask one question, just one. Where is alignment breaking first? Now, is it in communication? Is it in roles and expectations? Maybe it's in inconsistent processes. Or is it in the numbers that nobody looks at until tax time? Or is it in those, wait, why did we do it that way moments?
Because misalignment always leaves footprints. Always.
And AI just turns the lights on.
Next, grab a sheet of paper or create a digital note on your phone, whatever works. Write or type this at the top. Where does alignment break in my business?
Now I want you to draw 3 columns. Now, one each for people, process, and priorities.
And here's the key. I want you to write one sentence in each column, not a paragraph, not a diagnosis, not a business plan, just one sentence describing where things feel off.
One sentence forces clarity.
It forces honesty.
And it gives you a direction, a real one, not the vague, I guess we should automate something impulse.
Because once you can name the misalignment,
You can fix it.
and once you fix it,
AI will finally work the way you hoped it would. Look, we know you're busy. We know you've got 100 things on your plate. And we know the last thing you need is another framework to learn.
but here's what we also know. Small steps lead to big changes.
That's right. So one toggle, one workflow, one definition of good, that's all it takes to start.
Because alignment isn't a project, it's a practice.
And the businesses that survive the AI era, well, they won't be the ones with the most tools,
They'll be the ones with the strongest foundation,
the clearest priorities,
the most aligned teams,
and the owners who understand that AI doesn't fix misalignment,
it reveals it.
so you can finally build the business you've been trying to create all along.
A technology-enabled superpower.
That's right, Hal. That's right. Now, you know what I keep thinking about?
What?
Well, that text you got at 6:47 a.m. that said, I think we broke something.
Yeah.
So, do you think she knew what the real problem was?
No. She thought that AI was broken.
But it wasn't.
No, the AI was just showing her what was misaligned.
And once she could see it,
She could fix it.
Now that's it for today's episode of Small Business Big AI. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if this episode helped you, if it gave you clarity or even just a sense of comfort, well then please share it with one other entrepreneur who might be carrying the same misalignment quietly.
And connect with us on LinkedIn or Facebook. We love hearing your stories, your wins, your breakthroughs, and yes, even your oh no, that's exactly us moments.
Because that's how we all get better together.
Until the next time,
Keep embracing change.
keep innovating.
And remember, the future of your business is bigger than you think.
And the small steps you take today.
Will shape the legacy you build tomorrow.
I'm Hal.
And I'm Kim.
And
this has been Small Business Big AI. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.